Think you know your history? Well, be prepared to see a different side of the past that your textbooks forgot to mention. Here are some rare historical photos that will leave you speechless. Self-surgery. In 1961, Dr. Leonid Rogozov was a general practitioner of medicine when he went on an Arctic exploration trip with the Soviet Union. He was the only doctor present, so when he developed appendicitis, he had no choice but to perform the surgery on himself if he wanted to survive. The surgery took 1 hour and 45 minutes with frequent breaks needed as Rogozov was dealing with weakness and vertigo. Dali and his pets. Salvador Dali has always been known for being eccentric, as shown in his paintings and testimonies from his friends and family. However, it is rare to see a photo of Dali in action, or at least we thought so until this photo of the artist emerged where he's walking his pet anteater. Onlookers around the artist are looking both intrigued and disturbed, just like his paintings. Lady boxers. Women from the 1930s are often depicted as sweet, gentle, and submissive to their husbands. Women of the era were dainty and never did a man's job, or so people thought. This photo from the 1930s shows a group of women having a rogue boxing match on the rooftop of a building, and the women are dressed in adorable clothing while kicking or punching some major butt. Portable television. After the first television came out, people were already trying to figure out how you could take a television with you on the go. In this photo, we see a man who seems to be wearing a tube, but instead he's trying to watch the tube. Unfortunately and thankfully, this concept didn't take off since you obviously can't see where you're going. Black cop protecting KKK member. In 1983, racial tensions were high and the Ku Klux Klan was meeting aggressive opposition with good reason. The American people had had enough, and during a KKK rally, the public responded with violence to put an end to the rally. The police were called, and ironically, a black police officer did his job protecting members of the KKK, the very people who wanted to see harm come to him. Praying over the Titanic. When we hear about the Titanic, most of us think about the grand ship that was doomed from the start and the tragedy over the deaths of 1,500 people. Some might even think of the James Cameron movie starring a very young Leonardo DiCaprio. Because the sinking happened in 1912, where photography was still in its baby stages, we don't have play-by-play photos of the tragic sinking. Most photos of the victims in the ship are before the maiden voyage. However, one disturbing photo surfaced showing a priest praying over dozens of bodies from the Titanic sinking before they are buried at sea. An image that one can never unsee. Orphan transport. Imagine an entire plane of orphaned babies whose parents were killed during the Vietnam War. Unfortunately, this was an event that actually happened, and it was called Operation Baby Lift. It was a mass evacuation of children from South Vietnam between 1973 and 1975. Unfortunately, the first Operation Baby Lift plane crashed, and 78 babies on board and 50 adults were killed, but more than 170 survived. Fishing buddies. When one thinks of Che Guevara and Fidel Castro, they think of revolutionaries who brought in a new chapter to Cuban history, along with guerrilla war tactics and an overall somber tone to the pair's friendship. However, this photo shows two very friendly, relaxed, and casual friends out on a boat with little to no troubles, which was the complete opposite of what was still going on in history at the time. Jackie Mitchell. Lou Gehrig and Babe Ruth were known to be the most dangerous batting duo in the history of the 1930s. So, when 17-year-old Jackie Mitchell stood on the pitcher's mound against the New York Yankees, viewers anticipated a slaughter. But on the contrary, Jackie was able to strike out both hard hitters, much to the shock of the baseball world. Ruth and Gehrig ended up becoming major supporters in Mitchell's career. The real Christopher Robin. When people think of Winnie the Pooh, the iconic Disney character is the first to come to mind. But what many people don't know is that the cartoon is based on a series of classic books written by A.A. Milne in the 1920s based on his own son, Christopher Robin Milne, and his stuffed bear and other animals. So yes, you could say some of the earliest Pooh books were based on a true story. History always has been and always will be fascinating. Thanks for watching this video. Here's a couple other videos we think you might enjoy, and please don't forget to click like and subscribe. Thanks!